Good afternoon from Birmingham, Alabama. We got about 1,400 hours on July 31st. Tomorrow is August 1st. Let me just say, that's a big day for me tomorrow. It's a huge day. I'll remember this the rest of my life. 2025, August 1st. I'm officially on Medicare, baby. Woohoo!
Yay!
Anyway, I'd like to welcome those who showed up already. We have at least one new face. But let me lay the ground rules again, like I like to do in these meetings, as we talk about whatever it is we want to talk about, because all of us who show up are the ones that get to dictate how this meeting is going to go each time, each week. It gets recorded. If any of you here want anybody in the world to know about what you need to say or ask, say it and ask it, and that way it gets on recording because this goes out. This goes out to 200 people, and then it goes other places. I don't know where it goes. But in the meantime, if questions are asked, remember my rule is I don't answer the question. I try not to ever answer the question because I don't always have the answer, right? And you guys do. So it's up to you guys to help answer these questions that each of us are asking. Any questions? Okay, I'll answer that one. Okay, we're going to move forward. All right, so today, Luis has invited this young man sitting up here in my top left corner, Frederico Koyu. How do you
Yeah,
tell us
Kolu.
about yourself?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Federico, and I'm located in Los Angeles. And I appreciate you inviting me.
So I see you're part of Paul's crowd. That means you're in EXP commercial, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You're welcome. And when did you
Thank
join
you.
our company?
Um, 5 months ago,
All right.
so I'm learning as much as I can. That's why I
Oh,
like to attend these nice rooms here.
well, you came to a good place to learn because believe it or not, we got some brilliant minds here that they just surprise us every week. So welcome. Anybody got any questions for this young man sitting out there in LA?
Thank you.
You have somebody here that does multifamily. His name's Rich, and he hangs out there with you. He's in Pasadena.
Yes, hi, Rich. We met last week, actually.
All right, good. Okay, so today uh, I have asked Mr. David Monroe if he would just talk for a couple of minutes about what he's really got going on. Rick and I were exposed to it last Friday. I got to sit in on David's uh, what'd you call it? Not
Masterclass.
master class. That's right. It's not a webinar because it's interactive. We got to sit in on that with him last night, so it's really awesome. But if you want to just kind of give everybody a heads up, David, because you'll say it in layman's terms where everybody else talks about AI and stuff in whatever world they're in. So go for it, man. You have the floor.
You sure it's okay this time?
Yes, sir. It's on
All right.
recording.
So I have been studying, paying attention to, watching, and implementing AI strategies now for a while. The implementation phase really only started a few months ago, but I've been kind of studying, watching, and seeing everything that's been changing and dramatic shifts happening on a daily basis, like literally a daily basis. It's insane how fast this monster is growing. So I am of the belief, and I've mentioned this to a few people, that if you don't learn and adopt AI strategies into your business, then you will be replaced in commercial brokerage. Here's why I say that. We will still need people in commercial real estate brokerage, without a doubt. It's a relationship business. But if you think about the 80-20 rule, and I don't mean it's exactly 80-20, who handles 20% of all transactions? The 80% that will be replaced by AI. And AI will filter the 20% that do 80% of the transactions. So if you're in the top 20%, you're probably okay. But if you're not in the top 20%, your job's at risk. Your career is at risk. Your livelihood is at risk because AI can funnel opportunities to the 20%. So that's why I believe there's a major shift occurring in commercial real estate. I'm sure it's happening in residential real estate as well. I just don't follow that single family stuff. Like Rich, I go after multiple units under a roof, not just a single unit. So, last night I showed some strategies on how to use some of the different AI models out there. And what we focused on was how do you find a buyer for a property that isn't your listing without acting like or making it feel like you stole somebody's listing? And so we found an opportunity, an address, and we threw it into one of the LLMs. I call them large lying models. They're large language models, but if you don't know how to prompt them, they'll lie to you.
Yep.
We threw an address in there and we said, who owns this monster? And it started giving us ownership information. We're like, well, this is pretty cool, isn't it? And then we started asking it more questions about that ownership entity. And if we think about how commercial real estate is purchased, it's purchased with usually an LLC, but that LLC, which is a company, it's an entity, and it is registered with the Secretary of State of the state it's in, but it's only for that specific property. That doesn't mean that that's the company that's the managing member of that LLC that actually owns the asset. So we went and did a search at the Secretary of State website for the entity that owned the property, and Perplexity told us, Perplexity.ai told us, one of the LLMs, who owned it,
Real quick,
the
Dave,
recorded
real
owner. Go ahead.
quick. Perplexity. So we'll put that in the chat after he's done talking.
Can I keep going
Yeah,
now?
.ai, right?
.ai. Can I keep
Yeah.
going now?
Yeah. Or Rick, go ahead and type that in the chat if you can, Rick. While David's talking. Go ahead, Dave.
So we put that ownership entity into the Secretary of State's website for entity search, and it pulled up the entity. And like most entities, all it had was the registered agent. We didn't really have the owner. But what you do have is the entity's address, because that's required by the Articles of Organization. So we took the entity's address and we threw it into Perplexity.ai and said, who is the owner / tenants at this address? Well, come to find out that the owner of the property we were researching happens to own the building and is the user and uses it as their headquarters. They are the owner user. So not only did we find out who the ownership entity was, we also found out the principal's name and how much ownership the principal had. And then we did some research on the principal. So we were able to vet the property and we were able to vet the owner by using Perplexity. We then took the documents from the broker, the T12, the rent roll, and the OM. We uploaded them to Perplexity, and we asked it questions about the OM, the T12, and the rent roll. Summarize them for us. Are there any discrepancies? What opportunities do you see? What challenges do you see? Is this rent expectation accurate, or can it be expected, or is it under, higher? Are these expenses within line? We asked it all these questions, and it created this amazing summary. And when we got down to the very end, because it was a call for offers, we said, based on all the information so far, what would you offer, Perplexity, on this
I
deal?
thought that was awesome. That was great.
And Rich, you would have been proud of it. You would have been proud of
Rich,
it.
you got to
It
watch
did,
this. You got to sit in on one of his, Rich. It's unbelievable.
it did amazing on how it analyzed the deal and came up with an offer price, and was probably a pretty decent offer price
think it
for
was.
what this
Yeah, I think
property
it's
is going
right
to
in
sell
there.
for, if it sells. So we then asked Perplexity to summarize the whole thing for us, and we were able to download it into a Word document. And this is where the power of having multiple tools comes in, because we then went to gamma.app, GAMMA.app, which is a presentation, an AI generated presentation builder. And you're allowed 10 cards on the free version of that. Now, I pay for the pro version of Gamma. It's expensive, $180 a year. I'm being facetious.
I know.
That is like dirt cheap and puts out a better presentation than Build Out will ever be able to put out. And you get 10 cards on the free side. So I only had it do 10 cards, but it was really easy. As soon as you sign up, takes 30 seconds to sign up for it. You say, create new with AI, and it asks you a question. Do you want to use a prompt? Do you want to upload a file, or do you want to upload a link? I got a file I just pulled off of Perplexity. Let's use that. And we uploaded that file. And it said, great. Do you want a presentation? Do you want a website? Do you want a document? Or do you want, I don't remember what the last one is. We said we want a presentation. And so it asked us, 5 questions about how we want that presentation. Do we want it concise, complete, brief for each slide? How many cards do you want? We said 10 cards because you're allowed 10 cards on the free version. What theme do you want? We selected a dark theme. And how do you want your images? We asked it to generate its own AI images because we hadn't gone and pulled images or anything yet. And gave it the presentation size of 16 by 9. Go. And in less than 2 minutes, how good was the presentation, Keith?
It was great.
Could you have built something like that and Build Out in 2 minutes?
It takes me an hour to do all that and Build Out. Yeah. That's before, like Nancy, that's before you started changing photos and stuff on the slides. It's just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a snippet of some of the things we could do with AI to save our time. So really what we had done, we also went into another tool called Apollo.io, APOLLO.io, where you can pull ownership information or get contact information. And I showed how to find acquisition managers because we were looking for a buyer, how to find acquisition managers within Apollo. And it's got a free side and it's got a pay side, but its pay side's really cheap as well. And so we found some buyers. So now we have this presentation and we have these buyers and we have this summary, and we didn't steal anything from the listing agent. We just took their information and just created our own stuff. And so now we have a list of buyers that would be interested in a property like this that we can now send that presentation or an email to them. Now, what I didn't do last night, and I did for some of the folks that stayed for Q&A, is you can take that same 4 documents, the T12, the rent roll, the OM, and that summary you downloaded for Perplexity, go to Claude, CLAUDE.ai, upload all the documents and tell Claude you would like a web page. Now, you can get a web page on Gamma, but you got to leave it on Gamma. But if you want to put it in your own server, then you can ask Claude to build one. It's nice. It's formatted correctly. And if you go to Google and you look up the property name in Google or the address, you can go to then images in Google, and there's a ton of images. Now, if you're going to use those images, you have to mention who you got those images from. Don't say Google, say the actual person of the image. If you see something from apartments.com, loopnet.com, or costar.com, do not use those images. They will sue you. Just saying. But anything else is pretty much free game. Just make sure that you mention them. Then you can take and upload those images to wherever your image gallery is. You can even use Google Drive. Now you have links to all the images. And so in your prompt to Claude, say you want to build this website and select 6 to 9 images and say, use these links for the images in the website, and boom, you've got yourself a property website now. And you can take the same thing and create an HTML/JavaScript component. Now I am getting in the weeds, and be able to turn it into a marketing flyer and do the exact same thing with it.
Oh,
So
okay, stop.
what used to take an entire week to put something together, you literally can do in an hour.
You're literally creating something and a list of buyers that you can start reaching out to. It's fantastic. And he did that with a multifamily product this time. Yeah.
Yep.
Any questions for this young man? I could say that because I'm older than him. Yes, Dorothy, you unmute yourself.
So you got cap rate, ROI, and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, my question is, whether I like it or not, something is coming along and correcting every email that I write, whether it's in French or English. And sometimes when I go back and look at them, I go, no, that's wrong. First of all, I write really well, in my opinion. And so when it corrects my syntax, I go, I don't want to say it like that. So is it going to do that in this as well? Some people who their strength is maybe accounting, which mine is not, and they're happy to have somebody else write anything for them. I'm happy to have anybody else do the accounting. I don't know. But how much control do I have over the finished product?
Full.
Okay.
So it'll give you a result,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see the result, and then you just tell it what you want it to change in that result, and it'll change it for you.
Okay. This is incredible. And I'm hearing this all the time. And every time I turn around, somebody else is saying this, you have to learn AI.
He said,
Huh?
Hang
oh,
on,
here
Barry.
it is.
You
I
have
just
to
muted
you
him.
have to know
We're good.
AI or you're in the dark ages. Okay, I got it. And I'm willing, but which course do I go to learn it? There's so much out there. Which one is good, which one is not?
Too early to honestly say who's got good, who's got bad.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with it. That's how I learned. I just play with it.
So he gave you what, 4 or 5 here. You go to those.
Which
and
one is that?
The ones that are in chat. We put them in chat for you.
So here are the big ones. The LLMs, the big
Oh,
LLMs.
thank you.
ChatGPT.com, Perplexity.ai, Claude with an E.ai, Gemini, Gemini, which is Google's product. They're Gemini 2.5 right now. If you have a Google Workspace account, you pay them, I don't know what it is, $13, $15 a month, something stupid cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You get Gemini Pro for free. You also get, and this is another big one, Notebook LM for free. Or you can pay the Pro version. I think it's $20 a month with Gemini, and you can get Notebook LM with that as well. And then X, formerly Twitter, has an LLM called Grok, Grok.
I love that.
So if you're looking for what's trending, because let's face it, what's on Twitter is what's trending, then that's a good platform to use. I would not upload financial information to it and ask it to analyze things. I even wouldn't try to get it to search markets or anything like that. But you can ask it, what is the cap rate discussion going on in Los Angeles, California right now for multifamily properties?
Yeah.
And it would be very clear on all the discussions that are happening. It would summarize it all and give you basically what that summary is of that discussion going on in Los Angeles, California on cap rates for multifamily. So you can use it that way. So they each have their own set of kind of how you use them, how you don't.
Mm-hmm.
If you're building things, Claude. If If it's something you used to search for in Google, Gemini. If you want to analyze an image, scan an image, ChatGPT 4.0. You don't even need the O3. If you need a deep thinker, you need to research something. It's a toss-up between ChatGPT O3, which takes the Pro version or Plus version, and Perplexity Pro. Both of those have a deep thinking algorithm to them, and they're both really good.
Mhm.
GPT-4's function isn't good for any kind of deep research. Those are the big ones. The key to the whole thing is how you are utilizing the tools that these platforms have access to be able to aggregate down your result. Because if you just put a prompt in, and I don't care how good the prompt is, without other tools, and search is a tool, without other tools, then it's only as good as it was trained by its developers. So think of Watson 10, 15, 20 years ago when Microsoft built Watson. That's all these LLMs are. They're just Watsons, multiple Watsons. But now they have tools they can play with. They didn't 2 years ago. They do now. And they are rapidly changing and becoming hugely in demand for saving you time and making you money. I mean, it's unbelievable what you can do with them.
Hey, David,
Yeah, Rick.
took your advice and signed up for Claude.
Yeah.
And after I've used Gemini and Chat GPT a lot, I can't say enough good about Claude. I've done a couple of proposals, projects, working through some things this week, kind of complex stuff. And boy, it just took me step by step through what it needed, and the output was phenomenal. So I went ahead and signed up for the pro and just moved forward with it. So I think I would echo what you say is y'all spend a little bit of money on this, you'll get it back. I go ahead and
Tenfold.
sign up for the pros once I'm convinced I'll use it, because it gives you a little more depth to things once you put a little money into it. But even the free was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it was good. So I'm gonna echo what you said there as a testimony, and I appreciate you very much.
Hey, I'll give you guys on this topic, we'll go 4 more minutes.
I tested Gemini and Claude side by side, which one could build a better landing page. Claude destroyed Gemini, just destroyed it. Wasn't even close. And Gemini has, Gemini's got CLI, command line interface, so it says, which is they're using CLI as their code model. It's not really. So what's behind me? Well, that's actually Claude desktop behind me. Behind it is a CLI. It's like a terminal. Like if you were to go and pull up your command prompt on your computer, that's a terminal. That's a CLI, command line interface. And that's Gemini's version of code so that you can build things using HTML, JavaScript, Next.js, things like that.
Which is beyond what
Which is
most
way
of us.
beyond anything
Yeah.
you guys. My point is, I tested because Claude Code, everybody is saying is the best there is, and I've yet to be able to find anything that can compete with it. Which is why I pay the max version of Claude. I only pay the small versions of everything else. So I actually pay Claude $200 a month. But I'm building things with it. You guys don't
Yes.
need to pay $200 a month.
We don't need to.
Do
Yeah.
not do that. Any of these models, do not do that. Rick may at some point because Rick builds things,
Yes.
but you guys aren't going to be building stuff, so don't do that.
What do you mean by building things?
I'm building web applications. Rich has been testing one of my web applications that I built, and I built that in like an hour. Well, I'm taking that and putting it on steroids, and that's what I'm building behind me.
Yeah.
I'm a builder
Any
too.
other
So I
questions
love
or
it.
any thoughts, people? Rick, what'd you say?
No, I'm agreeing with David so much. I'm a builder too. So yeah, he's very helpful. I mean, very helpful. I'm ecstatic.
All right.
All of these, David, he was talking to us about a
Hey,
week
wait, hey,
ago.
hang on real quick. I gotta tell Rich something before he leaves the air. Rich,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Keith.
Nancy needs to get on your deal exchange next week.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Keith. Hey, really quick, guys, I'm really light on deals. So it's next Tuesday, the 5th. If you have deals, please, please, please submit. Keith, I will reach out to her and connect with her. But thank you for that. Thank you, guys. Great, David. Great stuff. Thank you for that.
Thanks,
I'll
Rich.
see you
Hey,
guys
Rich.
next week. Sorry, I got to jump off.
All right. Luis, sorry.
No, you're good. No, what I was saying, I mean, what I like about this last 15, 20 minutes, it is something that I think when I was start learning to use these tools, I was only using one tool for everything. And then somebody said, hey, no, actually this one is better. So I switched to the second tool. But I start combining tools just a couple of weeks ago, and it's amazing what you can do. But how Dorothy mentioned it, you have to be careful what comes out of this, okay? You have to review what is coming out, what the result is, and you have to just edit it what you want. You cannot just go 100% what it comes out. I mean, the results are way much better what we can do, but we still have to review those. But I mean, David, this is gold. All this website you're giving us today and everything, I definitely want to start playing with right away.
Yeah, you need to.
Okay. Nancy, real quick, you got anything to say about what's happening overseas?
Yes, I would like this. Thank you, Keith. I would like to take this opportunity to kind of share some exciting project that I'm working on. Some of you I've already talked to individually, so you know what I'm talking about. This is regarding a golden visa in Greece. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, here's the short and sweet blurb. Golden Visa is a residency program through real estate investment that gives you access to permanent residence in Greece. And you would own outright a condo, and it allows you to enjoy all the benefits that a resident has to, can enjoy. But at the same time, you don't have to go there. So if this is just, you're looking just for a back door, a place to retire, or whatever it is, you and your parents and dependent children under 21 can apply, and the minimum investment is 250,000 euros. And I am looking for people across the country through the EXP network to become ambassadors. And that is a 4% commission through minimum of 250,000 euros up to 800,000 euros. If you learn all the mechanics and help me be the ambassador, or throw me a name of someone that you meet and you just don't want to be bothered with all the intricate details, just say, go talk to Nancy. And if that converts, it's $1,000 per lead. So that in a nutshell is what I'm offering. And I went to Greece to vet everything. I looked at every single project. I talked to the lawyers, I talked to the team, I talked to the notary, I talked to everyone, and it's really legit. I even have like the ownership deed of the various projects, so I know that he owns it. So it's
Cool.
vetted. Thank you.
Hey, Stan, does that make any of your gears spin there?
No, I know a lot about this and I've heard a lot about it. And I know some people who've partaken in it. I don't bump into people looking for that a lot, but you have to be in that circle of like high-end wealth managers, people who are really moving and grooving in a certain world there. But we do know a guy who gave up his US citizenship and he moved to Dubai recently. It's a friend of a friend. So it is quite common. These things happen a lot.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
another thing is it's oftentimes it's you don't when you mention it, people go, "Oh yeah, we've been thinking about that." It's like if you don't talk about it or don't bring it
Yeah,
up, people
sure.
don't usually share that kind of information. But like if you're at the gym or the grocery store, if you're, out for a drink or meal with your buddies, just bring it up. You just never know who's thinking about it, but it's not common dinner conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. And this would be, you can bring it up with all your friends all over the world if they're thinking about somewhere like Greece for a second home or something so they can escape. Because that Mediterranean, you have a lot of choices on those coastlines. I've been over there. There's a lot of great places. I've never been to Athens though, and her projects are right there at Athens, right there
That's
in
right.
Athens. Yeah,
Yeah, and there's a huge multi-billion, like a 9 billion euro development that's going along the Athenian coast. And so
yep,
that's going to drive up property values. So this is really the time to invest. And a developer guarantees 3% return every year for 5 years.
yeah. That's not her saying that. That's in print from the developer.
Yep, I have all of this in
And
writing.
that's you. And for those who don't know, that's usually what happens when you deal with investments around the globe outside the U.S. Your developers will guarantee return on the money. Even I did this with Panama, and I did this in Mexico as well. Back when I first got my license 20 years ago, the developer were guaranteeing purchasers of their condos a 10% price increase, like every 8 months or 10 months or whatever. And it was going to take at least 3 years to build out all the condos. So you could literally invest in the contract. This is what was happening with my developer I was with. You can buy put a contract on a condo. It goes up in value, and you are allowed to sell that contract to the next buyer and keep the margin difference. I mean, there's all kinds of ways they do that all over the globe. There's nothing illegal about it all over the globe. And you can't, by law here in the US, tell people about guaranteed investments. You just show them the paperwork from the developer and say, this is what he says. I don't say a thing. you know.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and in this particular case, the slight difference between what Keith is talking about and that is because it's tied to a golden visa, so it's
Yeah.
tied to a name.
Which is
You
better. Yeah.
can't show up in an LLC or you can't show up in a business entity as an investor. You have to show up as you, your spouse, your
Yep.
parents, your
Yep.
children. And there are two products. There's the 250,000 euro product, which is a simple title. There's another one that's a timeshare where you can actually flip that property and still keep the golden visa because you're
Wow.
invested in a
That's
a
Greece.
hotel. Yeah,
That's the way you can do it in Greece. That doesn't mean the
that's
next
right.
country does that. Yeah.
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 Any
So
more
if you
questions for
have,
Nancy?
Yeah, guys, I just
yeah,
have one quick question. Do they give you marketing money to promote this? Like, how do you kind of disseminate this message out there?
so I am, so I work for the developer. I'm the ambassador, I'm the promoter. And so the end we bring clients to them and then the client signed the contract directly with the developer. So I'm the matchmaker. So then I share a part of, I share most of my commission with the people who are actually doing the work. If I have to go and lift and educate and convert, then I get most of the commission. But if you want to do it, then go by all means do it. So you get a bigger share. So the minimum is $10,000 per conversion. If for the
Okay.
250,000 euro project, but if it's 800,000, then it's 4% of that. So it's definitely
Sure.
very, it could be very lucrative, but it takes the time investment to learn everything about it. And I'm working on training videos and I'm going to have webinars, question and answer, and all of that. I'm just right now seeing who would be interested in collaborating with me so then I can schedule all the training and stuff afterwards. And I'm going to put my email here for those who are interested.
Yeah. So some of the new faces here. Nancy is located up there in Washington State at the Oregon border by Portland. So she's got a license in both states there. That's where she hangs out. Stan's over in the East Coast. So you got a 3 hour difference when you start talking to each other. Don't forget that.
And that's all good. Stan, what is your last name?
Conway, Conway. Yep, I'm here in Miami.
W-A-Y, Conway. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I like your
I'll-
background. Looks
I'm
very
gonna-
stylish.
Thank you. I'm going to email you my info.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Trip.
Hello.
Hey, listen, we got 7 minutes left before I turn off the recording. Anybody want to bring up anything, ask a question, get some answers on the recording, or, make announcements or anything on the recording? Anybody? Hey, wait a second. Let's see. What is this? This is July 31st, right? Okay. All right. I'm just thinking in my head, thinking about time frames and stuff. Okay. Here's my ask of all of you, especially on the recording. The next build event is in Boston next week. It is Thursday and Friday, and I'm flying up there on Wednesday. I'm one of the, 20 something speakers that we'll have there. Listen, I make a great co-sponsor in the commercial world, and there are several others that will be there as well. They make great co-sponsors in both the residential and the commercial world. If you've got prospects in Northeast US of A, connect us now. Connect us before next Wednesday. Let's meet them at Build. We can take care of them for you. Just that's what I'm saying. And then in September 10 and 11, it's in Charlotte. And I'm going to go to that one. So if you need me for any of your prospects, reach out, or anybody else here that's on this recording, reach out to them. Most of these people here are commercial. So I know there's a whole lot more residential people in this country than there are commercial. We're here to help you guys, help you grow your organization. So just give us a shout. Anybody else?
Keith, just want to ask, maybe, was there a way that you could email everybody here and I could understand what everybody else does in detail?
No, because I don't know what everybody else here does.
I appreciate that,
take
honestly.
advantage of this chat right now. Tell
I'm gonna
Stan
do
what
that.
you do and where you are if you don't have it on your name. You see, some of us put our cities on the name at least.
But
I
or
see.
just drop your emails then there in the chat.
Or I tell you what, Stan, throw your email in there, and maybe everybody
I'm gonna
will
do that.
put to you.
I'm gonna do that now. Perfect. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I know Trips in Oklahoma City. He does whatever commercial. I know Rich, who left, he's only multifamily. He lives in Pasadena. I know that Michelle and Shannon is the Prosperity Group person here, but I know Michelle and Shannon, I'll see them next week in Boston because they're in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts. And Blair's sitting in Philadelphia. You can see he's an SIOR, and he's been in commercial longer than most of you have been alive. Can you believe that, Blair?
Stan, this is Dorothy in Boston. I am looking for your info.
Okay. Great. I just put it in the chat.
Yeah, Dorothy deals with
Oh,
people
thank
overseas
you.
as well, Stan. Stan deals with people overseas, and Stan and I actually met through CCC. And so you've heard us talked about contractors, closers, and connections before. But, there's a lot of people in those organizations, and you start to meet each other. You got to get out there, people. You got to get out in the middle of of your fellow professionals and build those relationships. You will
Hey,
succeed. Yes.
Keith,
There's Michelle. What?
I apologize for interrupting. I couldn't figure out how to raise my hand while driving. Are you still hosting this call next week while the Build conference is going on?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to make that announcement. I could be on the stage at the exact moment that this goes on. I don't know, because Thursday afternoon is the first session of a build in Boston. So I was going to say we need to postpone this. I cannot be here next Thursday on this hosting it. Now, if somebody else wants to volunteer to host this, I can start it. And even if I'm on the stage, I'll just tell everybody, hang on a second, I got to start a Zoom real quick. And then I'll make you the co-host and you can lead the meeting and record it and everything and hang up.
I can
But
make you the co-host if you want me to.
Okay, Luis, we'll do that. You and I will work on that. So plan to come next week. I just probably won't be there because we'll be in the middle of build up there. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Nobody's got anything else? No announcements?
Well,
Yeah.
going back to what David was talking about, I would love like a summary of like that's a lot of platforms, right? And for people who are not very well versed in AI, it seems like there's a new one coming every day. It would be really helpful to know. Like it says,
Let me, before David answers in a nice, precise, logical way, let me be the rambunctious one. All
okay,
of us who've been here at EXP for the last couple of years has seen the workplaces pages and stuff, a lot of AI being talked about. And let me just say, I know most of those people, and I'm not going to say anything offensive to them. I'm just saying David is brings it to the layman level. Does that make sense? You don't have to be the expert to understand. He'd be a great guy to connect with, and probably I'll let him say what he does, but you might want to connect to what he does. As he has a you have a great opportunity to learn a lot if you want to connect to David through his master classes and whatever else he does. Okay, go ahead, David.
So you're not going to like my answer, Nancy. You remember the used to be a verb. I'm not sure it is anymore. You can Google it. Well, now here's a thought. How about asking Perplexity, hey, Perplexity, how can I get the best use out of you? What kind of prompts can you give me to help me with what I need?
That's a great way. There you go. That's awesome.
Seriously, each one of them. Go to each one and just ask it. What's your strengths? What are you good at? How can you help me?
It really tells you.
And then you can go to Perplexity and ask Perplexity that question about GPT, about Gemini, about Claude, about Grok. And you'll start to see patterns and trends. That means you're getting the right answer. I always go to a different model. When I've asked a model something that's important, I'll go to another model and say, hey, I went to GPT and I asked this. This is the result I got. Can you confirm this for me in Perplexity? And Perplexity will say, well, that model sucks. It won't say that. Claude actually has a sense of humor. Claude and I, we got into it the other day. Just quick story. You could turn the recording off for this if you want to.
No. Everybody needs to hear this.
I'm building an application that will go in and perform a market analysis for you, where it'll pull the BLS data automatically. It will calculate the EBM, the PER, and you can do your future demand for jobs and for population utilizing the application I'm building. And I thought there's a scraper I use, and I thought the scraper would be great for you doing this. So I spent all day on Monday fighting with Claude on trying to get this scraper to work, and we had the APIs and everything was working great. The next morning, I said, Claude, you and I had a little bit of an issue yesterday. And I literally said this in my prompt on this computer. And I said, what are we doing that isn't working? Why isn't Firecrawl not getting the data for us? And Claude says, well, BLS has their own APIs. Why don't we just go direct through their APIs? That was its answer. And I said, you couldn't lead with that yesterday? I seriously said that. And it came back and it said, well, I guess I should have led with that yesterday and we wouldn't be in the position we're in right now, would we? So it does have somewhat of a sense of humor and it really can learn at that level. I was really, really impressed. And it calmed me down because I was getting really mad at it. I mean, this is a Mac. That's it right there. That little tiny silver box is the entire computer.
Okay.
Because
I see it.
trying to
Yeah.
code on a PC sucks. But that little tiny thing right there almost ended out that window
Oh my goodness.
because I was getting frustrated. So I learned, stop telling AI what to do and ask it.
There you go.
This
And
is getting, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and let it know that it can question what you want for clarity. And GPT-03 is really good at this. If you do any prompt in GPT-03 where you need it to do deep research, it will ask clarifying questions before it will actually go do the research.
It
The other
does.
models
It
don't do
does.
that. You have to
Yep.
you have to prompt it for it.
Yep.
This
So
is
I hope that helps, Nancy.
This is all kind of scary. It's like the old movies talking about the robots taking over.
It's like Star Trek where they would talk to the computer. Remember? I watch
Yes.
it now. I watch Star Trek now. I watch all 4 series.
Yeah,
It's on the
David,
Heroes and Icons channel at night, guys, if you're interested.
Plus, children are no longer going to learn anything in school.
Anything else for David or Nancy or
well, I wanted to respond to David. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. I think the paradigm shift is instead of asking it what to do is ask it what it can do for me. So I will do that. But still, as a cheat sheet, you have, I mean, I wrote down notes that you use Perplexity and Gamma and Claude. And you also mentioned Gemini and Croc and all that stuff. But which are the ones that would you say, like, I use this one for da da da. I use that one for the da da da. I mean, instead of us going through all of it, because I tend to I don't enjoy dwelling and learning about tech. I just want to know what is at my disposition and what I can use it for. Would you be able to kind of
You-
help
Well,
with?
I
Hey,
did
Nancy,
that. I did
and-
that earlier, and it's fast enough I can do it again. So X Grok is for trends. Gemini is if you are used to going to Google and asking Google a question, ask Gemini. As a matter of fact, that little AI prompt you get or response that you get when you put something in Google now,
Yep.
that's Gemini.
Yep.
If you want to do deep research, test GPT-03 and Perplexity Pro.
Now
Those
wait,
two,
wait.
they're
He
both
said
pros.
and you
when
know
he
what?
says when you say 03, he's literally meaning 03,
Yeah,
not
yeah, it's the model.
03.
You select it up in the corner.
Yeah,
It's the model.
it's 03.
It's
Yes.
03. So you can test the two. But for analyzing, I like Perplexity and Claude.
Mhm.
But I have found Perplexity will do deeper research in the analysis than Claude will. And if I want to build something, I build it in Claude.
Okay, that was quick.
Nancy, you know what else I do? I mean, with everything that David is saying, I usually just go there and ask or make a prompt that give me a comparison chart of all of this. And then you put those 4 or 5 websites, I mean, or prompts, and it's going to give you a chart. What is used for what and what is going to be better for what. It's
AI agents, that's what they are.
Okay, I see. Okay, and then just last question to David. You use all of them.
Yeah, he just said that. And he
I
uses more
don't
than he
just
said.
use all of them. I pay for all of them.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to turn off the recording. Everybody good?
and they pay you back, right, David?
In time, yes. Yeah,